Good morning. My name is MJ and I'm a seminarian. That's a big word for someone who is learning how to be a priest. I'm going to be reading you some Bible stories during Advent while we get ready for Christmas, and I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you are too. But first, before we get started, I have a question for you. Have you ever had to wait for something for what felt like a really long time? Like maybe you really wanted a snack, but your mom made you wait for dinner. Or maybe you really wanted to see your grandparents, but you had to go on a long car ride to get there. Or maybe, like me, you're really excited for Christmas, but it's still almost a month away. Waiting for Christmas is hard, like waiting for other things is hard. And it's hard because we know how wonderful it will be. Presents, good food, family. And more important than all of those things, it's the day that we celebrate baby Jesus' birth. But it's not actually just us that get excited about baby Jesus' birthday. 2,000 years ago, God's people, the Israelites, were waiting for Jesus to be born too. That's because God had promised to send a rescuer to the world, someone who could save people from all the bad things that happen. And baby Jesus is that rescuer. Let me tell you the story of how he came. And I'm going to be reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible. This story is entitled, He's Here. Everything was ready. The moment God had been waiting for was here at last. God was coming to help his people, just as he promised in the beginning. But how would he come? What would he be like? What would he do? Mountains would have bowed down. Seas would have roared. Trees would have clapped their hands. But the earth held its breath. As silent as snow falling, he came in. And when no one was looking, in the darkness, he came. There was a young girl who was engaged to a man named Joseph. Joseph was the great-great-great-great-great-grandson of King David. You might have heard about King David. He's the one who killed the giant Goliath with a rock and a slingshot. One morning, this girl was minding her own business when suddenly a great warrior of light appeared right there in her bedroom. He was Gabriel. And he was an angel, a special messenger from heaven. When she saw the tall, shining man standing there, Mary was frightened. "You don't need to be scared," Gabriel said. "God is very happy with you." Mary looked around to see if perhaps he was talking to someone else. "Mary," Gabriel said, and he laughed with such gladness that Mary's eyes filled with sudden tears. "Mary, you're going to have a baby, a little boy. You will call him Jesus. He is God's own son. He's the one. He's the rescuer. The God who flung planets into space and kept them whirling around and around. The God who made the universe with just a word. The one who could do anything at all was making himself small and coming down as a baby." Wait, God was sending a baby to rescue the world? "But it's too wonderful," Mary said, and felt her heart beating hard. "How can it be true?" "Is anything too wonderful for God?" Gabriel asked. So Mary trusted God more than what her eyes could see, and she believed. "I am God's servant," she said. "Whatever God says, I will do." So, this is how the waiting for Jesus starts to end when Gabriel comes to tell Mary that she's going to be Jesus' mother. There's a lot more to the story, but we'll pick it up again next week. Bye.